Hello guys, welcome back to Gaz's Koi Pond. Due to the bad weather today, I haven't really taken care of anything that I was doing in the filter house. Hopefully with the heavy winds and the absolutely torrential rain that we've been getting, hopefully I'll get back onto it again tomorrow. So I thought I'd do a little bit of something just so I can put some out there for you guys if you are interested. So I've had a bit of a film of my tropical fish. I'm going to show you the new filter system that I've got. Quick overview of it on what it contains within the box, and let you basically see it. Won't be any of an installation video kind of thing. It's just basically last week I had a bit of a problem with my old filter packing in on me and I had to get something pretty quick, but I just want to let you have a quick look at the tank, the fish, and quick talk through the actual filter that I've gone for. So I'll spin camera on guys and let you have a see. Right guys, so in the mad panic of having to, last weekend basically what we're doing was a bit of a water change and basically just general maintenance to your tropical fish tank. In doing so I realised that I'd got a small leak coming out of this area on my old filter, which was the 206, this is the 207. It was leaking from in here. Now inside here they've got a little O-ring washer and then a rubber washer seal and another O-ring, but it's all attached in sort of like a H shape. So you can take this component apart by removing this part, this little lever which locks this into position, but you can't replace the O-rings on the inside, but you can get this whole component in a replacement. So I popped to my local tropical fish, which is the place that I did the video on before in a couple of videos prior to this, and I picked up a replacement one of these and a new replacement seal that goes through the middle of the lid. Come home, fitted it back on, but unfortunately I couldn't cure the leak. This one was fine, but this leak wouldn't work. I couldn't get it to seal, and the reason or the problem that I had was this little part here on the actual filter had got to the point where it was no longer compressing the top to the base together enough to prevent this from leaking, even with the new seal, because this little area here right underneath where it lugs underneath had worn. So basically I was in a last flying mad dash rush to get back to the shop before it shut, with a couple of minutes to spare before they actually closed, but contacted them first and said, look, could you hold one, I've got tropical fish, I really need to get something ASAP. So they stayed open while I got there. I picked up the new one, and this is the one I went for. I went for a slightly upgraded model to the one I had before, which was the 206, and now I've got the 207. So it is the Flural 207. It comes with a 3 years warranty, which is pretty good for a tropical filter system. It's an external canister, obviously. It has a detachable, so when you come to doing your filter clean side of things, you lift up this red lever, which detaches. First of all you lift up the grey lever, then you lift up the red lever, which detaches the pickup and the return from the actual canister. So then you can unplug it from your mains, take your canister into wherever you want to go, whether you're doing it in a bucket, whether you're doing it in your sink or whatever, and then you can remove the internal gubbins and you can give them a good clean back, build it all back up. What I like to do is build it back up and 3/4 fill it with water, and then basically return it back to the tank, reconnect this part up here again, push down this red lever which locks it into place, and then you open the little grey lever on the top, and I'll show you all this on the actual filter itself. You open the grey lever back down into the open position, and then that allows the water to start flowing back through, so you don't lose your suction or your your vacuum, and you can continuously keep it running just by lifting this up and down, and you can also reduce the flow rates with it too. So this is the internal look of it. This is what we've got, trying to catch that so that you don't get that light shine on there. We've got 3 canisters. First of all, the first one has a biofoam, which boosts beneficial bacteria growth, and then the second one is a Biomax, a maximum biological surface area, and then the third one is a carbon charcoal sachet bag which goes in, and then it also had, or my particular model also had a phosphate remover pad. So you put them all in the order that it showed on the instructions. So your bottom would be your sponge, then it would be your Biomax, then it would be your charcoal, and then it would be the phosphate removing pad on the top. But because I still got the same filter system prior, I also had my seeded media, which I also had from the last old canister. So I took out the seeded media, give it a clean off in some tank water, and then I popped it back in with the original media, or the new media that they provided me with. So I also then added into the top one, just above the layer of charcoal filter pad, I also put in some of the now then, what's it called? It's the product that removes ammonia from your tropical tanks, fish tanks, or you can also use it in your garden ponds. It's a white stony looking product, I've forgotten its name. Anyway, it'll come back to me. But I also added in a little bit of that because I used that, and I added, you can regenerate it again with salt by leaving it to soak for 24 hours, and you can restore it and reuse it. Now on the previous one, it had on the 206 model, it just had a flat sponge in here and a flat sponge there, and then these two sponges very similar. So basically it was like 4 of these, not this type of sponge that these new ones have. So I think they've changed the design up a little bit, and it seems a lot better. And you also have a polishing pad which goes in over the top as well, which is quite good. So basically I assembled it all and I put it back on, and I stuck it back on the actual tropical fish tank. Is 10 watts, and the 207 moves 780 litres per hour, which is pretty good. It's a lot of water movage, and it only uses 10 watts, so quite economical. Comes in the green range. So I'll let you have a quick look. I'll just pop this to one side. Hopefully we'll be able to see the filter in question. I'll just move my PC chair out of the way. Because there's the canister in itself. Again, this little lever here is the sort of like on-off for your water. You can raise it up slightly, you can slow it down, but I like to keep it running at maximum. Then you have the inlet in the white one and the return in the grey one. Now the reason why I have a grey and a white is this is the original pipework off my pickup from my old one, and I wanted to be able to identify it. Now it comes with this as a long length that you can trim these both off so that you can make yourself a pickup, which will be there, and then you can attach it to the end of the pickup pipe and then fit it into the clamp down here. But because I actually had already got the same pipework from the previous pump, it's exactly the same size on the 206 to the 207, I thought it'll give me a good way of knowing which one was, you know, the pickup and the return, and having the grey and the white. So it also is marked up with an in and an out so that you know which way the water's flowing, and all you need to do when you switch it on is basically switch on your pump, pull this plunger up, that primes it instantly, the pump and the impeller is primed straight away, the tank fills up, cycles through and returns back to your pond, and it got to your pond, sorry, back to the tank. So we've got the return coming back in over there. Now this time I made it a little bit lower in the tank so that the fish have got some current to swim up against, and they seem to be enjoying it a lot more than what they were. And just a quick look of my new bristlenose plek from Keith at Seaber's Pond. And also, now I thought I'd actually lost my male Crebensis. I haven't lost the male Crebensis, I lost one of the females. So I've got 2 females, there's the subdominant female there, and I have my pair of Crebensis, there's the female, and the male is in here somewhere. I'll try to see if I can get him on shot as well. See, there's the 2 females. And it's funny now because I'm shining the camera at her, she seems to have just lost a little bit of the reddish glow that she has to her belly, but you can still see it there, and there you go. Whilst I was going through all this rubbish and problems with my filter, my dad took me up and just came along with me to the tropical fish shop, and he took a fancy to these black widow tetras. Quite pretty fish. So he picked up 5 of them and purchased me 5 of them, so it would give me even more of a reason to have to get back and pick up some more filter system to make sure I could get it up and running and going again. Now, I don't know if any of you guys out there know, and if any of you was watching on the Friday Night Live with the Baldwin Reefer last night, you'd have heard me mention this. A very good fish to have in your tank is one of these, which is a rummy-nosed tetra. Now, the rummy-nosed tetra are apparently, from the research that I've found, are what's called a canary fish, i.e. like the miners used to have down in the mines. They'd have a canary in a cage, and obviously if there was any gases in there, that would then identify by unfortunately the canary snuffing it would identify the escaping of gas, which would alert the miners to get out. So basically, the rummy-nosed tetra is an indication in your tanks for whenever they'll start to lose a coloration in their nose that there is something wrong with the parameters of your water. So it's a very good fish to have in your tank to show whether or not you've got a problem. And if you see the colour fade, what you need to do is obviously a water change, but test your water parameters and make sure that if you have got a problem, but regular water change on a tropical fish tank is what you should be doing and need to be doing it anyway. Now, I also picked up a couple more of the leopard danios. I'll try and see if I can get some of them in shot for you as well. But they are very quick and they're cruising up and down all the time. There you go, in the centre of the screen now. And the leopard danios, I got some from Jack's shop, and I picked up a few more just because obviously it's a long drive to Jack's, and I wanted to get some at that particular time because the more numbers of them, the more they seem to be showing, and also grouping up much more and swimming backwards and forwards. It's a lot more action inside the tank, so it looks pretty good. I enjoyed watching them, so I got a few more of them too. Now I've just picked up some new fish after popping down and see the Baldwin Reefer for the Friday Night Live. I picked up some new fish from himself, and I got some of these, and I believe that hopefully Jack will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are called tuxedo penguin tetras, I believe, something like that. That's these little guys. Let's see if I can get it centre of the screen now. This little fella, there we go, quite pretty, seem to be colouring up well. They've got a nice little look to them. I like the little look, the bottom fins that they've got. They seem to have a lower fin that protrudes a little bit more. Quite a fancy little fish. Now, whilst they were in Jack's tanks in his shop, we did notice that there was a slightly different colour one. We were hoping that perhaps maybe that is the difference between the males and the females. So hopefully I managed to pick up a male and 4 females, so we'll see if anything comes of it. I haven't had much luck with anything spawning as of yet, but it's probably difficult when you've got clown loach the size of this. This fella is, I think he's pushing nearly 6 to 8 years old that I've had this one. He's quite tame, friendly, always comes around a lot. He's a good size, if you look at my hand, he's a good sized fish. And then behind there, he's the, there we go, the little bristle nose plec there. And he's a large common plec just down behind the back of that rock. You can just make him out. I'll try putting a little shot of him, which I picked up earlier in the week, of him actually up on the front of the glass so you can see him. But me and my wife were working out the other day. He's actually 11 years old, so he's doing really well. And there is one of my other bristlenose plecs just down there. So I'm hoping that perhaps if one of these two start to grow some little whiskers on the nose, that I have a male and female, because I'm hoping if I can try and see if we can get these two to spawn, because Keith's had some brilliant luck with his tropical fish, and his bristle nose has got a male and 2 females, and I believe they're on the 3rd or the 4th lot of fry that I've just hatched out quite recently. So it'd be nice to see if I can get them, to a decent size and see if we can get some breeding out of them. I also have the two, I think the cherry barbs, little female there at the front, coming up to the camera there, and then there is a male and another female somewhere else. Let's see if I can find them for you. Two little neon tetras, which remained with me from my daughter's tank. Another one just there. Beautiful fish, those. Absolutely stunning. My Corridoris. Two little white ones. Sorry, there's a bit of a picture of the, well, this, yeah, the Christmas cactus is flowering again. It's not supposed to be flowering, but it seems to be getting a few more buds back on it, and it's going to have another round of flowers on it by it looks. But yeah, two Corridoris just down in there, and then the third one there. And I have lost one over the last couple of weeks ago. I have had it for quite a long time, to be fair. These two are the ones that I had. Well, this one is the one I had originally on one of these, and the other one was one from my daughter's fish that she gave me. There's another one of those little cherry barbs over there. Stunning. The little male should be in there somewhere. It's quite bright, nice bright red fish. He's in there somewhere. I've just seen him earlier on. Now let's see if we can get a picture of a bit of film or a bit of footage of the male Crebensis. I actually thought I'd lost the male Crebensis, and I don't believe I have. Well, I definitely haven't lost the male Crebensis. I must have lost a female Crebensis, because I did have what was 3 females and 1 male. Now hopefully these two do seem to be colouring up quite a lot, and I'm hoping they're getting into perhaps maybe getting ready for a bit of a spawn, but she does look extremely plump, which is what's making me hope, and fingers crossed she's holding eggs. So if she is, perhaps maybe, where is it? There it is, just there at the back by the heater. Let's hope both her and him have a go at spawning, so we'll see. Anyway, like I said guys, I will show you another little bit of footage that I recorded earlier on today, whilst I give them a little bit of a feed. Hopefully you'll see again as to why I'm being out there working on the pond, because the weather's been atrocious, but hopefully you'll be happy with a little bit of footage of a bit of something different. My little tropical fish setup. Looking good. All the fish seem pretty active and healthy. Water parameters all good. Now we're having these little fellas. They have gone round and they've pretty much cleaned these rocks quite well. There's very little algae on them, and even on these little ones you can see the patches of the clear stuff where they can get to them, where they've cleaned them off, and with the deeper little areas there in the middle which they haven't cleared yet. But again, little clean patches on these ones, and they're basically just doing the job, doing the thing. But they've also been having a go at a lot of the leaves and cleaning all the algae for them, and in doing so, well, you know, it's food for them. I don't mind. I'll replace the plants if needs be, but they're starting to look a little bit worse for wear now because of it. So there's the, just see the slightly larger bristled nose, just there in the middle there under the plants. Yeah, see, there you go, look at those rummy nose, bright red noses. That little torpedoes, beautiful fish. Quite well established tank. I've had it for a lot of years, and they all seem to be doing pretty well together. So there's the other female. As you can see, she's no colour, she's a lot duller, with the male not particularly too interested in chasing her off as well. So I think he's found that. That's his lady, and there's the male again. Let's see if we can get him as he comes underneath there. Here he is. Come right to the camera there. Looking beautiful. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they seem to be spending a lot of time around the back of there. So I'm hoping they've got something cleared out and they have a go at doing a spawn. If they do, I'll try and see if I can catch it, see if I can see some of the fry, and I'll let you see them. So, hope you've enjoyed this one guys. I'll just spin the camera around. I just thought I'd do a little short video on the tropical fish tank because it is miserable outside and I am not going out there to work. Oh, might as well have a look at this one so you can see. Big thanks to AC Koi for the coffee cup. Seabass Pond, my own, so not part of the collection, and the other one which is Pond and Garden. So my collection has begun. Anybody else out there wants to send me some? Nice one, thank you very much. Email is in the description, but it's absolutely blowing a gale again out here. Absolutely peeing it down on now and again, so hopefully tomorrow I'm going to go out there and have a look at finishing off the internal filter house insulation and a little bit of electrics to remove or reposition some lighting. So I'll get back to you in a bit, guys. Catch you in a bit. So like I said, guys, it's a little bit something different. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get back out there in the garden. Continuation of the filter shed. I've got a couple of lights I want to shift and move because obviously they're now going to be above the storage area that I made in there. Get those lights shifted and moved. The last bit of the insulation. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I've got enough of the foil tape to finish off. If not, then I'll just be picking up another roll. But that'll be the last stage of the shed filtration, or the filter shed, filter house, whatever you want to call it, insulation side of things done. So the next stage will then be moving on to making and building of my new and improved filter system. So I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. A little bit of something different for you. If you do us a favour, give us a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. Tell a friend. Until the next time, guys, keep smiling. I'll catch you all on the next one. See you soon.